you can influence enough people, and you can maybe get them to vote a certain way, to push an agenda. Sure, 100%. People do it all the time.
Great.
So is that
So
what
what's
you're
your
here
point?
for? Is that like what you go live for? Like, is it to change people's minds, to get them to vote
Educate.
for your agenda?
Education, persuasion, for sure.
Yeah, because I'm not here to do that. If I'm going to be honest with you, I'm just here to talk.
What are you here for?
Chit chat.
Okay. Yeah.
Just whenever I'm
we're-
bored. I mean, you told me to join, so I just joined. I was just
Yeah.
here to listen.
Well, okay, I think that's like a cop out because you lost, but also like
No, I'll keep going. You want to keep going? We can
I'm
keep going.
talking. Yeah, I'm talking. So the right to
Yeah, I hear
bodily
you.
autonomy isn't like a joke to either of us.
I never said it was a joke. I said it was
You
fun
just
to me.
said I can't.
I said the debate is fun. I didn't say that bodily autonomy is fun. Is it not
Why
supposed
do
to
you
be fun?
not?
Or
Why do you tell? Okay, so let's ask you, Dean. Let's have you defend your stance. Tell me how it is ethical to force someone to sustain pregnancy and give birth.
Okay. So, we acknowledge that a fetus is a child, right?
No, it's not a child.
What does fetus stand for?
I believe it is a.
It's
Are you going to do the fetus as a baby? It's
an
actually the
unborn human
offspring, offspring of a human.
Right,
It's
but the
not
Latin word
child.
offspring means child, yes.
Child
it's a-
means born, Dean. Child means born.
It's an unborn human child.
That is not what fetus means. Fetus means an offspring of a human.
Right. The Latin
There's
word
no
offspring
unborn.
means
There's
child.
no child. So,
man.
this type of argument, like etymology,
What does
is
offspring
not. Let me finish. Etymology is not going to support your pro-life stance. So let me ask you: is a baby?
Wait. We got to start somewhere. Don't try to pivot now.
No, I'm not pivoting. Let
Don't
me ask
deflect.
you: is a baby a fetus?
Is a baby a fetus?
Yes.
A fetus. They're development stages. Everything's a development
I'm
stage.
asked. This is a yes or no question. Is a baby a fetus?
No.
Then why are you calling a fetus a baby?
A fetus. Fetus stands for, like you said, offspring. Offspring stands for child. Now, if you look at the actual definition
Offspring does
of
not
fetus,
stand for child.
Fetus is an unborn human child. But like, you got to remember,
It's not a baby.
all of these are development stages of a human being. So at any stage from conception till now, it's still a human. I mean, are we going to agree to that or not?
Yeah, sure. I tried to tell you a fetus is not a child.
It's offspring. Offspring means child.
We are now two, because a child is a born person, Dean.
No, it's
You've
not.
already acknowledged.
It doesn't
You've
have to
already
be.
acknowledged. Yes. Okay. Look up the scientific definition for child.
Back to that, I said no. You know what? You're right. A baby could be a fetus.
So when people are holding a newborn baby, you say like, "What a lovely fetus you have."
No. If you were to get pregnant, would you say, "Yeah, I'm currently carrying a fetus," or would you say, "I'm currently carrying a baby"?
I would say
You
I'm
wouldn't tell people
going
that, but
to
just
have a
because
baby.
in your
I would say I'm
argument,
going to have a baby.
yeah, you would say. And then if someone asks you, "Oh, are you fat or are you pregnant?" You say, "Yeah, I have a baby inside of me," right?
I would say I'm pregnant.
Would you say I have a fetus inside of me? No, you'd say I have a baby.
Dean,
or I have a child.
tell me what an embryo. So is an embryo a baby?
An embryo. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I got that right. So zygote is the fertilized egg, and then embryo is when it attaches to the uterus wall, right?
Yes, up until 8 weeks.
So
of
no,
pregnancy.
no, that's why it's called a zygote or embryo. I'm sorry, that's why it's called an embryo. It's not a
So,
fetus. No.
are you okay with abortion up to 8 weeks?
No.
Okay, so is an embryo a baby?
An embryo is not a baby. No, actually,
Okay.
it's a human. It's not a baby though. No, it's a human.
But a fetus is a baby.
A fetus is a baby. Yes.
What makes a fetus a baby and an embryo not?
So they're all. You're talking about development stages. They're development stages. You can't just say, "Oh, what makes this a baby?" It's not a.
This is your argument,
certain
Dean. This
stages-
isn't mine. Is
Okay,
a child
would you-
an adult? Is a child an adult?
No, but it's still.
Okay,
a
so
human.
those are two different
Still a living
developmental
and breathing
stages.
human.
So I'm wondering why you're saying a fetus is
Right.
a baby,
So if
but
you
an
look up the
embryo is not a
definition of
baby,
fetus,
but a child
an
is not
embryo is
adult.
not a baby. An embryo is not a baby. It's an embryo.
Right,
I
what
think
is an
you're trying to
embryo,
confuse
Dean?
me.
I'm
embryo-
not trying to confuse you. I just don't think you know.
An embryo is. It's a human. Okay, if it's
Can
a
you be a
human
little more
embryo, then it's a human.
specific? Can you be a little more specific? Because that definition's
Yeah,
circular.
an embryo is a development stage of a human.
What point?
When the zygote attaches to the uterus wall, it becomes an embryo.
Up until?
I don't know the exact times. So you would have to tell me the times.
All right, so it's up until 8 weeks of pregnancy.
Okay, great. Was I wrong or right?
You just didn't know, so you were
I
neither
knew.
wrong
I just didn't know
nor
the
right.
timing. Yeah,
No,
I knew.
you didn't know.
I mean, sure.
So,
Okay, let's say I don't know much about pregnancy. Does
yeah.
that mean I'm just wrong in my beliefs? Should I just like stop believing what I believe?
No, but you
It
shouldn't
means that you are
debate it.
ignorant and uneducated, and that maybe
No, I
if you
think I'm more than
educated yourself,
enough. I'm more than educated enough to have an
concerning.
opinion on this. 100%.
So okay, so you're saying a fetus is a baby, but an embryo is not. So tell
An
me,
embryo
what
is not.
differentiates an embryo from a fetus?
So, their development stages, like I said, you wouldn't call a child. You wouldn't call a child an adult because it's not an adult. Just like you wouldn't call.
Right.
Yes.
Just like you wouldn't call a child a
call an
fetus
apple an
because
orange.
it's not a fetus. Can you tell me what car means?
What does car mean?
Do you know, like, what the Latin root word of car means?
Let me guess. A vehicle for transportation? I don't know.
No, it means wheeled vehicle.
Okay, wheeled vehicle. So,
But
You
if
wouldn't
I
call
called a chariot or a wagon a car, would you be like, cool, Kenzie?
I mean, if you're going to go based off definition, I would say sure.
No, you wouldn't, because we have like.
Yeah,
See, so this is why that.
Okay, go ahead.
This is why the etymology debate doesn't work. Because while things have root words and root meanings in terms of origin, it doesn't contextualize the definition. So if I were to go up to a chariot or a covered wagon and be like, Dean, get in the car, I guarantee you'd be like, what the hell are you talking about? That's a wagon. Even though car,
Yeah, I would say that's
the
a wagon.
Latin root word, is a wheeled vehicle. So
Yeah, I would say,
you
what are you
trying to
talking about?
support this argument that fetus means baby, therefore it is a baby, is just incorrect. Just the same way that I would call
What?
a chariot or a wagon a car, because it's not.
Hold on. Let me get down from my car. Let me get to my computer so we can verify everything.
Verify what?
What is it?
Verify
Because
what?
I'm not just gonna take your word for everything.
Oh,
I'm
that
going to
car means
verify
wheeled vehicle? Okay.
No, not that part. I'm gonna bring up the
You're cutting out, Dean. I just read a comment. I'm sorry. Dean had to sit in his car because Daddy says
Hello?
no debating inside. Yeah. What you got, Dean?
Oh my gosh. I don't read the comments while I'm debating, so if anyone's saying my name or anything, I'm not even reading it because I don't pay attention to losers.
Well, that's fine.
So
That's fine. I just thought they were funny because we're waiting for you
Sure, they
to
could be
get
funny.
on your computer and actually do some research. I'm excited. I'm happy for you.
Okay, here we go. Fetus, an offspring of a human or other mammal in the stages of prenatal development that follow the embryo stage.
Great.
Okay, now you take the definition of fetus. Or, I'm sorry, definition of offspring. A person's child or children.
Okay. Now, will you Google for me scientific definition of children?
I'm sure it's gonna back your claim. So
Just
which
Google
one
it
could
for
be
me.
right though?
That's my whole point, is that this is kind of like an appeal to authority where you are trying to use the dictionary to suffice your argument, which is why it doesn't work. So I will read it aloud. The scientific
Okay, I'll
definition
read
of
it, I'll read it
child.
aloud.
Okay, great.
Okay, you can read it aloud. Go ahead.
In the biological sciences, a child is usually defined as a person between birth and puberty.
Can a child be a fetus? Okay. There are two.
What did Google say, Dean?
There are two ways to date a pregnancy: gestational state age and fertilization age. During these stages, an unborn child is addressed as an embryo, fetus, or baby. So you can
Still,
say
you're
that.
still wrong, Dean.
Okay.
You're still wrong. And you're just doing an
I just
appeal to
searched up-
emotion.
I just said, can a child be a fetus? And it says an unborn child is addressed as embryo.
That's not a
fetus, or baby.
child, Dean.
An unborn child. It's an unborn child.
A child is not a fetus because a child is what, Dean? Oh
Can also
no.
be an unborn child. There's also unborn children.
A child cannot be an unborn child, Dean.
I'm looking at it right now.
That's
Do
an
you want me to give you a link?
oxymoron. What definition source are you using?
It's called Options for Women, rf.com.
Great. Can we use a scientific or a medical terminology?
Okay, so what can a child be a fetus scientifically?
So a child, number 1, medical dictionary, a person between birth and puberty.
Yes,
And-
you're looking at what the definition of child is. Look up the definition of unborn child.
So, Dean,
Are we going to forget that there's something called unborn
unborn
child?
child in itself would be an oxymoron because child is defined as born, and when you put unborn in
Okay,
front
I'm
of
not
it,
making it up.
you are
Kenzie.
contradicting. No, the same way I literally supported my argument by saying, Dean, what
Kenzie,
does car
you're
mean?
smiling. You're smiling,
I'm
Kenzie. You're having fun
smiling
with this, aren't
because you're annoying. Like you're so
you? Yeah, I'm
willfully
annoyed.
ignorant. No, you're willfully ignorant, and that's
No,
what's
I'm not.
frustrating. You
See,
are.
remember
You
when I-
absolutely are.
If okay,
Remember
hold on.
when I said
let me
you're
ask you
making
this.
it a joke?
Hold on.
and I
Hold
don't
on.
appreciate
If I
that.
told you right now, if I told you, Kenzie, that I'm going to convert to pro-choice, would I still be ignorant, or would I now be smart?
Well,
You are being willfully ignorant in this point right now. Yes.
If I change to pro-choice, would I still be ignorant?
yes.
If you had probably, I mean, if you had actual information that like seeped into your
Important thing in my life. You know.
Well, that's your argument, though, Dean.
Yeah,
Is
that's your argument.
definitions.
Yeah, but you called me out and you invited me here, and I'm here. I'm not
I
gonna
did
run
not
away.
invite you at all.
Yeah, you did. You said
No, I
add me in
didn't.
here.
I didn't.
It was
That
either
was
you or
Savi. It wasn't
Sami.
me.
Okay, then it was Sami, not me. But I don't know where she went. But what's up, Travis?
Oh, I didn't know we were still on Earth. Sorry, I was trying to find out where we. I didn't know what planet I'm on. Sorry, I'm here.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. That's on you, brother. Yeah, you're funny.
So Dean, you still haven't answered my question. Why is
What's
it
your question?
ethical to force someone to sustain pregnancy and give birth against their will?
Because they consented to sex, and when you consent to sex, you acknowledge the risk of pregnancy, and if you get pregnant, there's a human baby inside of you, a human child, a human embryo, a
It
human
is
fetus,
not
whatever you want
a
to call it.
baby.
It's a human. It's alive.
Like,
You
you
shouldn't kill it.
can't. You already like acknowledge that you
That's
have
why I gave you.
definitions. So why are you using them if you know you are wrong?
No, I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong.
You are wrong.
There's something
Dean.
called an unborn child. If you're gonna sit here and tell me there's no such thing as an unborn child, then go change the definition. Go change science. I don't know what to tell you.
Dean, you didn't say unborn child in your description right now. You just said baby and child.
Okay, unborn child. Does that make you more happy?
Is sex a crime?
No, it's not a crime. It could be a crime
Then
if you use it the
why-
wrong way.
What does that mean?
So if you SA someone and you have sex with them, that's a crime.
So sex means
The sex in
inherently
itself.
means Dean, sex in itself means it's consensual. If I'm going to say it is not consensual, I will say rape.
Okay, there you go. Okay, yes, you're right. So
So
sex is not a crime.
sex is not a crime. Great. So why should there be an obligation for someone who has not committed a crime?
Wait. Why should there be an obligation for someone that has not committed a crime?
Correct.
So why should you be obligated to something if you've not committed a crime? So
Why should you be obligated to sustain pregnancy and go through birth against your will if you have committed no crime?
exactly, you've committed no crime, so you should be going through it. If someone were to commit a crime in SAU, okay, then I would say sure, go ahead, have an abortion.
No, Dean, I'm saying the person that you are forcing to sustain pregnancy and give birth to, they have committed no crime. And if they have committed no crime, then why do they have this obligation? Why do they have
Because
this punishment? Why do they have this punishment?
What's the punishment?
Having to sustain pregnancy and give birth against their will.
Okay. So I don't.
Yeah.
And why would they get an
Okay,
abortion?
hold on.
Giovanni,
Okay.
you're back. Come back.
So you can't really call it a punishment because the definition of punishment is the infliction or imposition of a penalty as retribution for an offense.
Correct.
They didn't commit an offense, so you can't call it a
You
punishment.
said the offense is sex.
No, I didn't.
Correct. You did because in the
Wait,
case of
we said
rape,
sex-
wait,
we said
yep.
sex
In the
is
case
not-
of rape, you allow someone to have an abortion.
Sure, yes.
But in the case of
Then
sex,
that
you
would
do
be
not.
considered a
So in
punishment.
your framework, the offense is sex. Offense does not mean crime.
Wait. You said if you SA someone that's not considered sex, it's considered rape. It's
I
considered
just said right.
Yeah.
So okay. Let
Yeah,
me
you
try
confused
better
yourself,
words.
you see?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you
So
just confused
Dean,
your own
if
self.
someone is raped, you allow them to have an abortion because they have
Right.
committed no offense of sex. But if someone has had sex, you won't allow them to have an abortion. So you consider sex to be the offense.
No.
Yes.
Okay, you're saying I consider that to be an offense.
Yes.
Now I gotta make sure I'm making sure I say the right thing. So I'm gonna search up what is the definition of offense. Okay.
Offense or offense?
A
like
breach
a
of law or rule, an illegal act.
Or rule,
yeah.
rule. So your rule is if it's consensual, then you
It's
are
an
not
illegal
allowed
act.
to have an abortion. A rule,
It's
Dean.
an illegal act.
It says of a law or rule.
Okay.
And your rule is if that you consented to sex, you now have this penalty. So yes,
Wait.
by definitional standards,
No.
forcing someone to sustain pregnancy against their will is punishment.
Okay. Okay, so would you say it's still a penalty for them? Would you
No.
call it a punishment?
No.
Because how can it be one definition for one person and a different definition for another person?
Because it's the same. Why? What's the difference between
So
sex
then
and
you would
rape?
have to agree.
Dean,
Wait,
what is
wait.
the difference between sex and rape?
Okay, rape is when someone didn't.
What is the
Consent.
difference? It's one word.
It's one word.
Yes,
Consent.
the difference, consent. Great. So, just like in your own example, someone who had sex wanted it. Someone who
Right.
was raped did not want it. So the
but what if
same in
someone-
pregnancy. Someone who is
someone wanted to
pregnant
get an
and
abortion?
wants it is not a punishment. Someone who is pregnant and doesn't want it, it is a punishment.
Wait, but in the beginning they both wanted sex.
Oh
In
my!
the beginning they both wanted sex.
Dean, if we're looking at the definition of punishment, sex is the offense, penalty, the